Well, check it out. We're here in the next video. And guess what? We're going to talk about the hosts file. Why don't we just dig right in? Hosts file will map host names to IP addresses, sometimes required to be edited either to block some sites or to test some custom domain. So this video is going to show you how that we can access and edit the hosts in different operating systems. So first, we've got to figure out what is the hosts file. So the host file, which is used by operating systems to map a connection between an IP address and domain names before going on to domain name servers, right? So this file is a simple text file with the mapping of IPs and domain names. So why don't we talk about when you use it? So first of all, you got to look at it like this, protecting your privacy. So you can use this to block advertisers and trackers and block marketing or even third-party websites, and use it to block ads and banners and third-party page counters or any other site in order to protect your privacy. You can also use it to block websites for your kids, especially if you don't want your children at home to open some websites. You can just go ahead and block those sites by the hosts file. You can decide entirely what you wish to block and even most hijackers and possibly unwanted programs. When we talk about security, we can utilize it as a firewall in our local system. The host file is to block spyware and or ad networks, and you can add all the spyware sites and ad networks domain names into your host file so that you can block dangerous sites, ransomware sites, blockchain sites, and anything else that you can find. And during development, you're going to need to run your web application on the local host for verification. Websites can run on localhost 127.0.0.1 or localhost IP address. There are some limitations in the localhost. You're going to want to review your website on the custom domain before launching on the public domain. Let's suppose that you've developed some thing for e-commerce, okay? You want to debug some payment gateway issue, but your payment gateway is not supporting localhost URL or IP for the cases of successful payment. So you can actually add custom domain in the host file and validate the payment process right on your local host. Let's talk about editing the host file, shall we? So Windows operating system, we just need to open the host file. So you go to the Start menu, start typing the notepad, and right-click Notepad and choose Run as administrator. And open the host file. Click on File, Open, and copy and paste this path. It's the Windows System 32 drivers, etc. hosts. Cool, so you can edit the host file. So suppose that you want to block Facebook.com on your system, and you want to add a custom domain for your website. So we'll just look at this and write the lines that you see on the screen. 0.0.0.0. www.facebook.com, 127.0.0.1, www.customdomain.com. After you finish editing, save your host file. Now go ahead and open your browser and try to access www.facebook.com and see if you can access it or not. What happened? And for Linux, you can use these instructions. When you're in the Linux terminal window, just open the host file using your favorite text editor with a command right here on the screen. $sudo vim etc hosts, okay? So it's going to prompt you for the password. So go ahead and enter your administrator password. Now, using the Vim or your favorite text editor, you can easily edit. The Linux host file is similar to the Windows host file. Now, again, I'm blocking Facebook and adding a custom domain. And I'll save those changes and test it. You go ahead and do that. And if you're on a Mac, use these instructions. Go ahead and open Terminal, or you can use Spotlight to search for Terminal. And then type in sudo vim /etc/hosts right there in the terminal Going to prompt you for a password. Enter your admin password. Enter administrator password. Now, using the Vim text editor, you can easily edit. Now, the macOS host file is also similar to Windows and Linux host file, so I'm going to be blocking Facebook and adding a custom domain name here as well. And we'll save changes and open the browser, and let's try to access Facebook, and see, there you go. You can't do it. So the host file is found on all operating systems. The host file is a very powerful tool, so it can make your computer more secure and even safer by blocking some malicious sites. So go ahead and take that and run with it, my friends. That's all about the host file. We're going to wrap it up here. I'll see you in the next video.